Hello, wonderful people. It's been a while since we streamed, and I got a wonderful Richie here for the
hi
Q&A.
everybody. How's everybody doing? John, how you doing, buddy? What the fuck? Who's else there?
We have
Ali, John, Cosmos United. Hey, I read some of your... No, that wasn't you. Some comments by somebody with Cosmos and their... Hi, it was probably you, though. Did you make some comments today on some of the videos? Ann, hi, Ann. Let's. Hi, let's.
Hi, Eric. Good to see you here.
Riley Rage! Dude, how's your... Have I been drinking? Yeah, coffee. No, seriously, I'm in a good mood tonight.
Are you?
Yeah, I've been doing that new decide and win shit I've been doing and then act as if. Did you know you could actually act as if you're having a good time? And, yeah, it will trigger your happy chemicals. It might take more than 5 minutes, but, yeah, I've been doing that sort of stuff. I've been messing around. We're live, yeah?
Yes, we're live. I mean, we have tons of people reacting to what you're saying, so I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't read shit without these ugly glasses.
Yeah,
Somebody send me some nice glasses, would you? I'm too fucking lazy to go to damn... I go to the store and I forget to buy new glasses. These are all my busted, crappy ones. And I get those kind with, there's the metal rims. They're over there. I just keep forgetting every time I go. Anyway. Hi, how are you?
Oh, it's okay. I thought it's my show, but I think...
Oh, yeah. Welcome. This is... I'm the... what's it called? The act? The opening act. I'm just the opening act. Okay. Back to Unreal.
No, it's all cool.
Yeah. Sure.
After your big show.
She says that now.
Off camera.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's been a while since I was on YouTube, so yeah, like let's review says like he has some questions. So yeah, people, if we can give you anything of value, if we can answer some of your questions, come on in, share your stuff, let us know, and we're here to entertain, to share any knowledge, information, or just fuck around, I guess.
Yeah. I changed my channel, my YouTube channel, from education to entertainment.
Works.
So yeah. Kind of like George Carlin or one of these other guys that are educational entertainment.
Hey, Yuri Gressel just gave you $20 saying sorry about the microphone. You should get a new one.
Thank you, Yuri. I know. I should get a... Oh, man, that pissed me off so fucking much. But I was in control.
Where
I
are
walked
you?
in here. Yeah, I walked in here, and if for those of you who don't know, I made like a 38-minute great video today. It took a lot of guts to make it. It's about guiding people out of body and stuff. And after 38 minutes, motherfucking microphone was unplugged. I was so pissed.
And
Thank
I
you.
was here in my room hearing the cups and everything being thrown and the tables banging and yells and screams. Just kidding.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I was able to hold on to it because I walked in here acting as if nothing happened. You just act like you just start. You breathe like it. You breathe like it. You walk like it. You hold your chest and your shoulders like nothing's wrong, and your eyebrows like nothing's wrong. And the next thing you know, you're getting into it, and your physiology is thinking this guy's not upset. And the physiology will not trigger the cortisol and the adrenaline like it would normally want to do if you're going, that the way you normally do when something goes sideways. Anyway, that's it. I don't know if that was education or entertainment. Oh, back to you, your show.
It's okay. Like how we're watching anime sometimes, but if you're familiar with anime, what happens, like sometimes the main character gets into some situation and then sort of like the background disappears and he's all on fire and like there's some energy going. So like Rich walks into the room like nothing happened and like there's this fire all around. Everything's burning. Like, ow.
Well.
Yeah, that's fun. So we have a question from Let's Review saying, can you tell us of case where archons mess with some souls after death? Archons messing with souls after death? You want to start?
Yeah. Definition of an archon and what is an archon. It started with the Gnostics. Were way back when, like thousands of years ago, the Gnostics, they weren't part of the Christianity or the religion or stuff. They were experts at out-of-body travel, consciousness shifting, remote viewing, and there was a whole bunch of them, and they were going for a few hundred years. Imagine people like Akvila, but had 200 years to do their research and development and stuff. What they started doing was contacting and seeing these ETs. But these ETs weren't just physical, they were extra-dimensional. But it was the Greys and others, reptilians and all this stuff. So they wrote a lot about it, and they gave those guys a label. They were lords. The ETs considered themselves lords over humanity. And the word lord in the language back then, either ancient Greek or something, the word was archon, and archon meant lord. So that's where the word came from. And when people drop dead now, they won't always, some people will fall for it and some won't, but you can go into a between lives area that looks like a pretty nice place maybe, but some of these places that you can go are built by these archons, these extraterrestrial ETs, entities, aliens, reptilians, and other types, and the Greys, and they create these constructs to catch people, and they will do it through deception. They will lie and cheat and all this stuff, and they will make you think you're in a nice, really wonderful place, a heaven world or a nice little between lives, new agey kind of place, but they're going to want you to do a life review. Don't fucking do it. If you want to do a fucking life review, you could have done it before you left your life, You're on your deathbed, I think I want to do a life review. No. No. And all they want to do is really make you look at the negative stuff that you either did or they say you did. And you buy into some of the stuff, it's like false past memories. And then they can get you into your past lives. And they may not even be your past lives. Like, what do you know, right? What do I know, right? It's like, well, I'm just seeing this imagery, and it's in my own head, and they're telling me it's my own past life. Oh, and I'm supposed to feel bad about something I did now. And so I go, oh yeah, I want to go back to the physical world one more time for one more incarnation, and they got your agreement by lying to you about things. So that's how the bad boys do it. So that's an encounter with archons when you drop dead or when your body drops dead. But you don't have to do that. What you learn here in this world, right now, you'll know when your body drops dead. You won't know any more, but you won't know any less. And if you've been studying about archons and between lives and the soul traps or the possibility of soul traps, you will know that when your body expires. And you can contemplate or consider that. Now there's that light I've heard about. Here's all these other dead beings, these ghosty beings, entities, going to the light. And you're like, and they're all just happy going to the light. And you go, I don't think so. And you can look around and do other things, lots of other things. So I keep on going. I better shut up.
It's okay.
Did that help?
I guess so.
It's like you could say yes. Okay.
Yeah, like some of the things I can add is like sometimes when people die, they like the archons send someone who's looking familiar to us, someone that's like, let's say, if they know you don't like spiders, they're gonna make sure you're not seeing a spider. They're gonna make sure like you're seeing someone you're familiar with, comfortable with. And a lot of times there's like this archangel Azrael or some angelic beings or someone like familiar looking like your relatives, but it's not really someone like pretending to be. And a lot of times they come with an intention like, oh, I'm gonna give you love and peace and safety, and it's all good, it's all okay now, calm down. And they will say like, I'm gonna guide you to this place where it's gonna be safe, it's kind of like a heaven world, you can sort of like think about what you want to do later. And they're like all super loving, just like trying to give a nice vibe, because they know like people like us, like, hey, like what the hell is going on? Like we're suspicious of bad stuff. So when it's good, we're supposed to be like, oh, it's all cool. Well, not really. Like a lot of times they will try to be all loving and kind and peaceful and pretend and to gain your trust, like a little, I don't know, like there are some gypsies who are always like trying to get like you feel safe with them, but all of a sudden like they're gonna smash you and all this stuff.
Like a dog catcher with a dog. Yeah. Here, puppy. Oh, you're so cute. You come here, skinny. Gotcha.
Pretty much.
It's kind of like that.
Pretty much, yeah. And so a lot of times they're just gonna, like lead you to their angelic worlds, and people there are like all just like chilling and sitting on benches and talking, and it's all calm and nice. Well, they're all trapped. They can't leave, and they're being mind wiped, and now you're stuck in that world, and boom. So a lot of times, like, these archons will pretend to gain your trust, and then they will snatch you and mess with you, and there's a lot of other cases what happens, but there's a lot to them.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you, how do you know that that's true, what you just said?
Yeah.
But I'm going to answer it myself. How do I know that's true? Right. For me.
Yeah.
I've been there.
You've been there?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, some out-of-body experiences. I'm in the park, and it's very park-like. Even Robert Monroe says the builders built it. The park is like where people drop dead here, and then they go into it's like a beautiful, beautiful park. Oh, it's just a setup, man. And so I've been there, and you see people walking around all cool and nice and friendly and clueless. I actually saw, it was like I was in my 30s, and I saw some friends that I had in high school were there. Obviously died in the Vietnam War or some shit. Or they were like doing their out-of-body experiences too, but didn't look like it. It was like, hey, John, hey, Freddie, what's up?
Damn.
But yeah, I've been in those, in the park more than once, and people are just hanging out. They're not any smarter than they were here.
No.
And quite possibly not. Anyway.
Don't get going. Yeah. I guess like to answer your stuff, like how do I know it's true? For me, like I'm working a lot with people and like doing sessions, but like the ability to get out of body and see it for myself. And one of the things like, oh, like an angel coming and trying to deceive them, and now that's deception. No, like it would be like a thing like, oh, it's just someone trying to help. It would be the first point of view. But when you go into their world and you see what's going on, and imagine having like this, I don't know, like a filter, but how should I say it? Let's say, like how like some people close their eyes and they see pitch black, like nothing else. But what if that pitch black is frame on frame on frame on frame overlaying each other, creating that blackness? And so let's say when you come into the world, the view you see is what they give you. But if you start like taking off one frame like in another, or like let's say taking out some of their given perceptions, if I'm expressing myself correctly, you start like seeing, let's say I take off the given view, and now like I'm seeing every single person there is connected to the cord, and their energy is being sucked out, and tons of other things happening. I'm like, okay, like that's not nice. So, you know, like just like seeing the world with different filter helps you to understand what's going on. There's a lot to it. I feel like even today's session was kind of like damn. Most of you probably have heard that like people in US and like elsewhere, you know, like if you get the birth certificate, you become the property of the government or the corporation, and all of a sudden they can sell you off. Like, well, one of the things we found today, or like, you know, like I was doing the session now, basically everyone who's with the birth certificate, like now they have the copyrights to you, and they have like, let's say, your second body. So like think of a matrix, tons of or millions or billions of pods, and each and every one of you has a body double in a pod, and that body double is also being cloned. And so like let's say if in this life you're focusing on like, oh, I'm gonna manifest something, you're like, you want to manifest your wanted reality, do like some law of attraction, sort of like working really hard at visualizing and feeling and like trying and all this stuff. And what happens? You see everyone else around you get what you want, but you're not there. So like there's a system where they will try to sort of like make sure you're working on creating your wanted reality, but that creativity, that like imagination and visuals will be taken away and used for the other side, for the AI and others, to create their stuff. But at the same time, they will give what you want to manifest to others, so that you would be like, ah, damn it, it worked, but for them, I'm going to do it again. So like they keep you on a circle where you can't get it, but you're hopeful because it kind of worked. So like it's just like, I don't know, I guess you can comment more like, or make sense of what I'm saying.
Yeah, well,
what were you talking about?
no, the idea of it's like you create a digital game, right? And you own the copyrights to it, and you sell it. Now somebody else they have the rights to it, and they can sell digital copies. It's kind of like that, but with clones. And the understanding or the backstory on this whole thing about a birth certificate, it has to do with maritime law, and it has to do with what this world is really based on as a government, as a world governments. And you have these three city-states, Vatican, Washington, D.C., and London, City of London. Now, apparently, this secret law and the way things are worked and run on this planet is galactic and intergalactic. And in the galaxy right now, there is intergalactic trade. The humans, the super rich power elite, or those in control, secret space program, all these different things. But there is galactic trade going on with Earth. And who's running the Earth right now? The satanic cabal types, these factions. They're fighting each other and all this stuff. It's all going down, but there is law on the planet, and it has to do with maritime law. And there's a whole thing about our birth certificates being birthed like a ship is docked and birthed, and so you've got the dock and the doctor. It's all this wordplay. It's all this ritualistic, satanic, secret code weirdness about it all. But if anybody wants to contact me after this video, after this, or Ogvila, we can send you the link to a guy that's really explaining this whole postmaster general and the general and all this. It's like it's easy to deny and go, not more bullshit, please. I passed on it like 2 years ago. First time I heard it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, please, that's too fucking much. Wait, stop. But it comes back and it comes back and it comes back. Oh, there it is. She's got it. She's fast. I think she's going to share it right here. But this guy explains it really well, and it's.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is going on galactically. This phenomena of them treating us like property.
Yeah, like this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, are you
no,
streaming this?
yeah, like wait, yeah, display capture. There we go. There we go. That would be his video.
Yeah.
So just look up like must watch how Great Britain ties into Rothschilds plus the American Constitution.
Yeah.
The channel is the Hoary Sheets Show.
Yeah.
That's how it's called. Yeah, check it out because there's a lot of good info and he explains a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so there.
Yeah. He's right. He talks slow, uses little words, and he explains it really well about how it plays out and what's really going on behind the scenes and how those in control are ruling and controlling the world. And there's a big fight going on, wars going on right now on behind the scenes in the physical world on planet Earth and galactically and in other dimensional planes. This is my understanding of things.
Yeah. Well, that's nice.
How fun.
All right, so we have Riley Rage asking, like, how did you and Rich meet? Like, lovely friendship.
Hey, great question, Riley. And first of all, real quickly, Yuri, thank you for the donation, and Cosmos United, thank you. Love it. We really appreciate you. And Riley, I was about 8 years ago or so, I was on YouTube doing stuff about YouTube. Ubies and out about experiences and stuff, and some guy looked like Phil Collins. His image, side image. Do I know this old guy, a bald-headed guy? Familiar? I wasn't really. Anyway, this guy writes to me under one of my Ubi videos and says, "Hey, I met somebody in an out-of-body experience, and I really liked them, and I would like to meet them again." Very cleverly leaving out the pronouns so you don't know if it's a man or woman without lying or anything. And picked Phil Collins over here. It really was Phil Collins. And I go, who's this old guy? You're asking about, is it possible to meet somebody in the physical world if you meet them in the astral? And I just felt it. I felt something was off. Not off, but different. And I go, somebody is asking for some help. Somebody wants to meet somebody. And, I would have likely answered it anyway, but it had a different feel to it. So anyway, I wrote this old guy back and told him, yeah, it's possible. You can do this and you can do that. And he wrote back. He wrote back and then something, thank you and appreciative and all that. And then I wrote him back. Just, a lot of different students and clients at the time. And then after a little bit, I don't know what happened. I finally find out that you're you and not Phil Collins. But we'd already kind of established a communication and a friendship and a connection even before I knew that she was about...
You got most of it, right?
Okay. She's the one with a good memory. But she was like 15 years old at the time.
Somewhere there.
Little did I know. And she was a world away. She was in Lithuania, I was in the States.
And for me, I was it was 2011 when I was started looking for truth and what's going on in the world. I was still on my awakening and all the stuff. And just found David Icke, looked at the Matrix and what's going on and all the stuff, and popped into Rich YouTube. He still had 2,000 subscribers at the time. It wasn't the thing back then, but watch his videos and I'm okay, would like to get out of body. I haven't had the experience. So yeah, that's the
I was curious. I wanted to find out how much of the story did I get right. Sounded good. I believed it. But what more, please?
Yeah, I was getting out of body, but I did not knew what it was. But that, oh, that would be pretty cool to try out. And yeah, the photo was Phil Collins. I was listening. That was kind of I was on suicide. And it's funny because there was some documentary playing on a TV, and I was oh, okay, fuck it. And
what about suicide? You say you were or weren't?
Yes, I was I was very close to suicide.
Suicidal, yeah, yes, that's what they call it.
Yeah,
okay.
I was pretty much suicidal, pills and okay, that's pretty high and all the stuff. Fuck it. So just fuck the world. I'm done with this place. and my TV was playing in the background, and they had some this documentary going, like with musical stuff, and I heard this in the air tonight, like that awesome beat. So I was like okay, just gonna listen to it, and I ended up like okay, like watching his stuff and getting into drums and music. That was like my
watching Phil Collins stuff.
Yes,
yeah.
like that was like how I found him.
Yeah, Phil Collins had a lot of music that spoke to Agvila, so she really got into Phil back then. Go ahead.
Oh, Phil and music and drumming. Like I was like okay, like finally, like at least I can express myself through music. So like finally, I was going there. But with all the musical industry and finding out how corrupt it is and what's going on, I was like found Rich, and then writing to him like back and forth a few messages. I was sort of like asking like, well, like I didn't had enough money for your course of Uber boot camp, but you sort of like you gave me a free pass, and that's when you found out like I'm a girl and I'm not Phil Collins and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So that was like pretty fun, and after that, being the best student, I guess, of the whole thing, and just every day, like learn how to get out of body after like really hardcore training, and then back and forth, like every day we're like doing like guided UB meditations and all the other stuff, and boom, there it is, and here we are.
Yeah, if any of you seen this most recent video that we uploaded, we did an interview with Eric.
Yeah, Deciphering My Experience. If any one of you want to watch his channel, Deciphering My Experience.
Yeah. So what she was doing with visiting the reptilian on the ship, talking to him, touching him, interacting with him in real time, we were doing that 8 years ago. That's I had already known how to do that technique with some other people, and I realized she had the skill sets to do that, and she was interested. So we did some experiments, or just, hey, let's try it. And it worked so well, we just did it again. It was at the time, it was both of our, really passionate about it, very interested in this stuff. And so we did more and more, and then we started interacting, like for 8 years.
Yeah, so there it is. Yeah, I think like Riley has another question. Once a cord is cut, can the person being cut also lasso their cord back onto you, or is it completely up to you? Do you get it?
Yeah, they can. Yeah, little fuckers, get off me, bitch.
Yeah.
And so but with your imagination or your ability to intend and imagine and visualize and all that, you just, if you notice that, you get it out of you, and sometimes you can dissolve the cord. Sometimes it'll be the same cord that they're attaching, but you can like fizzle it. You can take the cord and you can plug it into something else. It's like you unplug it here and plug it into here. Bzzz. Or you can plug it into the light, or plug it into love or Mother Earth, some greater power that you believe in that is wholesome and good, or wholesome and supportive of your life. And you can plug that into there, or you can just dissolve it. But if you notice they're coming back at you again and again, you've got to look for your cords that you have connected into them. If you don't look, they might seem to be invisible or not there. But I never really thought of it. Oh yeah, I have there it is, and you undo that. But now you do have to put up some shielding or barriers or some kind of handle. Yeah,
I feel like the biggest thing is like with relationships, especially people that are close to you. Like let's say some of you might have abusive parents or relatives, and they might be abusive physically, sexually, or even like emotionally, like saying like oh, you suck, you're the worst, you're this, and like they love you, but the way they treat you and things they say, they can hurt you really bad. And like we have this connection. It's similar to Stockholm syndrome, but sometimes we're like hey, I love you, but I have to do my thing, and like there's a lot of variations, but eventually it's kind of like we love those people so much, and they hurt us a lot. And like it's kind of like, hey, they're my parents, they're my relatives, and this, and they keep on knocking you with some of the things they say, and so you try to disconnect, but it's kind of like a cord. Like you try to move away, and then they call you, and you're like hi, and boom, back at you, like they got you again. So like it's kind of like containing some of the communications. If the people don't change, it's pretty crazy. I think like you want to expand on this? Because you're
some other things about relationships. If it's not cords, it's not this, it's that. But other dark beings that want your energy can work through those people in your life. And so if you're like trying to detach a cord and you think it's coming from, over here, Charlie, I think it's from Charlie to Joe over here, and you're Joe and you're trying to get rid of this attachment and you're focused on this guy, it's not coming through from him, it's coming through him. Like from back this way. So, and most of the spiritual work, all that has to happen is for it to occur to you that maybe this is happening or that is happening, or oh, I never thought of that, and you can look into that because all this stuff is based, it's created by thought, and you could have thought it a long time ago and forgot you thought it, or somebody else thought something up and thus manifested it in the spiritual world, and now it's affecting you, and you once long ago knew about it, had thought it yourself, and thus agreed that it exists as a thing, but now that thing is affecting you, but now here you are in this life and you forgot about it, and all you have to do is like once again go, oh, it could be that. And whatever that is, it could be chords, it could be entities, it could be clusters of entities, it could be AI, weird shit. It could be clones, it could be alternate reality, parallel universe stuff going on, mirror universes. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Oh, an inversion. We hear this a lot. Archons are doing an inversion on the physical universe, which is a matrix. Oh, a matrix. Yeah, I saw the movie. Yeah, well, it is simulated reality. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Maybe that's it. Whatever we think, we're such powerful beings, we're creating that stuff in one plane or reality or another. And with all of our thinking, it kind of comes together as a big giant equation on the wall. All your thoughts that you've ever had about anything and all your feelings about it, added together, it's your little law of attraction formula. And at the end of the formula, it says equals your life right now. So the more things you learn about this, what it can be and can't be, that it's affecting you and messing with you, the better off you are. Shuffle through it. It's not always everything you read is happening to you, but you go, no, not that. Yeah, oh, yeah. Hey, let me try the technique that fixes that. Oh, that helped. Kind of like that.
Yeah, I guess like one of the bigger things I also would add to this whole thing, like regarding relationships, is keeping boundaries. Like for me, like I know, like with my parents and relatives, like they love me, they were good, but there were some things that they would say or do that would either piss me off or really, like, I don't know, like put me, like destroy me, like mess with me and all this stuff, and like I would end up like fuck it, I just can't handle it, and that would be like way too much for me. So like with my parents or like relatives, I had to learn how to say no, and I was like damn, like that was like freaking hard. Like he taught me like how to say no.
I did that.
Yeah.
I helped her learn how to say no.
And that was like a lot of practice, like saying no, and finally like learning how to stand up for myself. Like, hey, I don't agree with you. Like learning how to have my own opinion for me was a big thing. Learning how to have my own opinion, how to have like, I want to choose that, and no, thank you. Like so like that's like a lot of things for me. But at the same time, like learning to have my own power and expressing myself, that was the biggest thing. Because like there were like a lot of feelings and like tons of things that would happen to me, but just inability to express myself, like, or express how I feel or what I want, was like that was destroying me from the inside. So like finally, like sort of like, I don't know, like growing personally, I don't know, like with like tips from Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins, Rich, Tom Bilyeu, Gary Vaynerchuk, like tons of people, like just like choosing whatever like is working for you. But for me, like I sort of like build my character and like my own strengths, and now like finally being able to stand up for myself, like, hey, I respect your opinion, but I have like different things I want to share. So like finally like, being my true self, I learned that sort of like to express myself and do what I want to do, but I also got respect from others, and now they know my boundaries, they know the things I want or don't want, what I like or don't like, and from people who were like, they had really good intentions, but they would not understand that what they're doing was against what I want. And it's finally like I'm able to express like, no, like really I like that, but don't do it anymore. And finally I'm in a place where like I was able to stop like all the bad stuff that was going on, but at the same time, like now I have like my parents respect absolutely everything. They give me all the space, and it was just like really helpful. show that like, hey, I'm growing up, I have my own boundaries and things I want to do, and I'm gonna do differently than what you want and all this stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Yeah. Talk it out. Anyway, we have Cosmos United asking, why do some people have power over us? What makes them stronger ultimately? Yeah?
I can't find my... I found these, but where's my other one? Oh, there they
Did
are.
you? Okay.
Sorry. Got them right here. I want to read... these are my close-ups and these are my far-aways. Cheaper than bifocals. Okay. But yeah. What's the question again?
Yeah, Cosmos United is asking, like, why do some people have power over us? What makes them stronger ultimately?
Yeah. You want to know a secret? What's really going on? When a person is in this position of power, there's power versus force, and we're talking about power, not force. You know, people can use a lot of force against you, but power, when we're talking about spiritually speaking, or in relationships or beingness, people that are in power over you, their idea of what's right and wrong either doesn't exist or it's way different from yours. They are right, you are wrong. And from our position, if they are more powerful, we're in a position of an attitude that they are right and I am wrong. Or if it gets physical or, confrontational with a relative or a parent or a friend or a boss or a bully or something, if it gets confrontational, what they are willing to do to stay in power is more than you would be willing to do to stay in power, because you have a sense of what's right and what's wrong. And you feel wrong, bad, or guilty if you punched them in the face, for example, or you did any other violent act to be the more powerful. And they don't have that. This is why the super rich power elite are in power. They do not have a moral compass. They just do what they will, and this gained them the money, and money helped them get into power and be powerful. But the money isn't the power. It's this mindset. And they're very strong in their position, and they hold it, and they don't easily... A psychopath, for example, doesn't have a sense of wrong or guilt. When we do something that we feel by our beliefs and moral codes of conduct, we think we're wrong or bad, we will withhold ourselves. And it's our withholding ourselves that makes us appear to be weaker than the one that appears to be more powerful. So it turns out that one's own beliefs and computations about right action and wrong action, or I will feel this way if this happens. If this and this happens, I will feel like this. So if they yell at me, let's say a classic computation, if it's my dad and he's angry at me, then I'm in trouble. It's just through experience you go, my dad, him pissed at me, I'm in trouble. It could be a different belief, but you don't have that. You have, he's angry, that's my dad, he's angry at me, and what am I? I'm aggressive. I'm angry back. Could be your computation. And, a very aggressive child, a hard to handle child, would have a different belief system or rules of how to behave than the other guy. So that mean father couldn't dominate or be more powerful than the aggressive kid. He would have to he could use more force, but then that's a different kind of, that's not power, that's just force. But you get these two men, when this little boy grows up, but if the father still has power, it's because the child still has rules and beliefs about how to behave and how to feel. And the child would feel wrong or bad or guilty if they did something to hold their position of power in the face of this aggressive powerfulness. And it also falls into upsets. These people in power, they don't care if they upset other people. They'll make a person wrong. They'll do things that make the other person feel wrong, bad, or guilty. And it'll upset that person. And they don't care. So they can handle and confront other people's upsets and emotional issues. And they can confront human emotion, upsets and anger, and they don't care. They still just hold their position, which would be one definition of powerful. You can't move them from their position. They're powerful. So that's my philosophy on and understanding of this. Does that help?
That's pretty good. I think so.
Okay.
All right, Robbie has a question. What do you think of blood donations? Is it a good idea? What can happen if your blood gets into someone else at an energetic level, and what's your opinion on this?
Well, on the surface, it sounds like a good thing to help people that need your blood. But I learned about 20 years ago at the Red Cross, which was the big ones on doing the blood drives, and something terrible happened on the other side of the world, blood ritual wars, the super rich power elite and the power on both countries throwing their population into war, blood sacrifice, blood, you get body parts, you could sell off the children, the orphans. All kinds of money can be made in wars for both sides that are the puppet masters. And then here comes the Red Cross. Oh, we need to donate blood. There's a big bad thing that happened. Oh, we need blood. They need your blood for their own reasons. And some of it, will go to those in need. But don't trust them. When you look deeper into, when I did years ago, look deeper into who owns the Red Cross, literally the actual individual names of the individual people, boards of directors, presidents, whatever they are. When you look into those details, then you look into that person and see how corrupt and who they're connected with. You find out, that's when you start finding out how corrupt the entire world is. So that's just one angle on the blood thing. There's also DNA banks. People are selling your DNA, and all they need is a sample. And now you're in the database, and who knows what they're going to use for it, or how it's going to be used, or it's going to be used in research to come up with viruses and things that will attack certain types of DNA. American Indians, whether it's going to attack only the Irish or only the Italians, or this kind of biological weaponry has been researched and developed, and they're not going to ever stop doing that stuff. So there are some. It looks like a good idea. Ancestry.com and other people that want just a DNA sample. Here's that little. Here, take that. But they're doing it and can do it with your blood as well. So I say don't do it, man. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
That's the short answer. I could go on. But it's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Right. Another question from Liberty Airbrushing. He's asking, when it comes to getting out of body, I'm a bit confused in regards to mind awake, and am I supposed to actually stay awake and just patiently wait for the vibrations, or am I supposed to sleep?
Okay. When you say I, who's talking?
Liberty Airbrushing.
No, that's not what I mean.
Fine. Be nice.
There's the spiritual aspect that you're the consciousness, and you have a body, and the body has to go to sleep. Now, normally what happens is you, the conscious person, like I'm conscious, you're conscious, we're all one level or another of conscious right now, but it's a scale of fully awake, conscious, and fully asleep, totally unconscious. So it's a scale. So we're all on the scale somewhere. So we're a certain degree, a certain percentage of awake and a certain percentage of sleep. Spiritually speaking, the awareness that you are. So, you can walk down the hall and you feel like it's first thing in the morning, you haven't had your coffee or whatever you do, and you're not quite awake, and you go, and you can stumble over the cat's toy or the dog's squeaky, and you go, what the hell? And you bump into the trash can. You're not wide awake yet. Doesn't matter why. But other days you can walk around in your house and you're feeling really awake. You're like, wow, you're more conscious. This you that we're talking here, whether conscious or asleep, this is the you that needs to stay awake at night when the body's going to sleep. And this you is not the body. But we are so identified with the body that normally when we go to sleep at night, you spiritually fall asleep first, and then the body checks, oh, yeah, the body will go to sleep after you go to sleep. The body's got a job. Do not go to sleep on the job. If the spirit being is awake, walking down the hallway, don't be falling asleep. In bed, you lay down, the body's going, is he asleep yet? Is he asleep yet? And you get these tickles and itches sometimes as you're trying to stay awake while the body goes to sleep. This is your body checking on you. It's going to give you, it's got its own personality, the body does, and it's got its own level of intelligence and stuff, but it's not you. It's your body, biological life form, with a spirit sort of entity consciousness to it. But you're the commander, you're involved, but you're merged with it. You believe you are it. Most of us do. Anyway, so you lay down at night and you're going to do out-of-body, mind-awake, body-asleep stuff. Well, you lay there and you're going to stay awake. And you don't move. And the body's going, is he asleep? If you're thinking a lot, the body knows what you're thinking. He's thinking his ass off. He's not asleep. No problem. The body's not going to go to sleep, not going to want to go to sleep. But you start thinking around, thinking, and then you spiritually fall asleep. The body goes, okay, I can go to sleep now. And so the body will go to sleep as you go to sleep, and you won't feel the vibrations and you won't feel sleep paralysis. Even though the body will be in a sleep paralysis state while you're asleep, you won't feel it. You, the consciousness that you are asleep, unconscious, and you are not rolling your body over. In the middle of the night when you roll over, your body, you've woken up a little bit and you go, I don't feel, I got to roll over. And you roll over and then you fall back asleep and your body falls back asleep. So that's how it works. So this mind-awake, body-asleep has to do really with you spiritually staying awake while your body goes to sleep. So when you lay there, and I'm going to wrap it up after
it's okay.
Because this is the whole course.
No worries.
When you lay there, you have to be very still and still in mind as well. And you want to fool the body into thinking that you spiritually have fallen asleep, but you're not. You're wide awake. And the body will go, okay, I think he's asleep. And it will start falling asleep. And when that happens, you will feel the vibrational shift as the body changes vibration as it falls asleep. And you maintain your vibration of wakefulness. You will feel the difference in the vibrations. They'll be changing. They won't be the same. And you get that vibrational feeling state and all that stuff. So that's how it works. I learned that from Nick Newport. His teachings are really good. Salt Cube, I think, is his reference place. But yeah, so that's what you got to do. And a quick trick, go to bed early, go to bed at different times than your body is normally ready to go to bed. Do something that makes the body really sleepy or tired, so it will more easily go to sleep and not be worrying about whether you're awake so much. And you practice quiet mind and being still while this happens. And you can practice this when you're first going to sleep, or you can wake up in the middle of the night, get up, run around for a while, go back to bed, and then practice it. Different strategies to get the body to fall asleep and you stay awake. There.
Yeah. Also, say make sure to avoid the blue light, like from your phones or PC, TV. Like avoid like at least 30 minutes to an hour not watching any of that or seeing that before you go to sleep, because like you see it, you stimulate your brains and other things, and it's kind of like, for me, it's, I don't know, like overstimulating it. Like, let's say if you watch a movie, anime, game, or something else, you're playing on your phone, just like scrolling through Twitter or something, you get tons of images while you're in bed, and all of a sudden you fall asleep, but you simulated the visuals already, so your brain's like, okay, like fuck it, I need to plug out and like relax and like rest. So if you skip on that, the brain like, oh well, I didn't have enough time to create stuff, so like now's the time. And so like for me, like that's pretty helpful. So yeah.
Good tip. Good tip.
Anyway, I think we should wrap it up for today. There's a lot of other questions, and I'm gonna save them for possible videos and all this stuff.
Oh my God, there's a lot, you guys. Hey, thanks a lot. Yeah. We've got we ordered pizza, and it's on the way.
Sushi, not pizza.
Oh, sushi. Yeah. No, I remember the conversation. Yeah, it's on the way, so we got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much, you guys. Really appreciate it. Let me just look over here real quick. Some of these great questions and stuff.
You got it?
This is great. Yeah, I wish we had more time. We could keep on going. Okay, you guys, we'll get back and do it again sometime soon. Yeah.
All right. Okay, be well. Bye-bye.